So what I've noticed in doing these hand-drawn problems is that there's a lot of steps, and you have to be careful and keep track. First video we did x and y intercept method. This version will do the y-intercept method. So I'm going to take my first inequality, treat it like an equation, and I'm going to bring the 3x over. That should be an x there. And I'm just going to rewrite the equation as y equals negative 3x plus 12. So I know my slope is that, my y-intercept is there. Here I'm going to take the original equation, I'm going to bring the x over, and I'm going to divide by 2 to get the y by itself. And then I have y equals negative 1/2 x plus 10. My slope is that, my y-intercept is there. I'm going to take those and I'm going to graph them. Okay? So I've highlighted the orange graph here and the blue graph. And what we can see with this method is that I kind of ran into a problem, right? I've made my scale by ones on the x and y. And it worked for the orange graph because I have a steep slope and I end up figuring out my y-intercept. But the blue graph, the way I've drawn it, I go off the page. And so I don't know where it hits the x-axis. Best way to figure out where the x-axis is to plug in the point where y is equal to 0. Because we know all along here, y equals 0. So I make y equals 0. That goes away. And I'm left with x equals 20. So my point is 20, 0. I know it's going to hit the x-axis at 20. So all I do is redraw my scale. I make my scale go by 2's this time. And when I do my shading, I'm going to choose 0.00. For the blue line, 0 is less than 20, so I'm going to shade on this side, right? I'm going to shade on the same side that 0, 0 occurs. But for the orange line, 0, 0 does not equal, 0, 0 does not equal 12. 0, 0, sorry, is not greater than or equal to 12. So I'm going to shade on the side that's further away from 0, 0. That leaves me with this feasible region and these vertices. Test those vertices, plug them into my objective function, which we remember is 2x plus 0.5y. If you forgot that, just scroll back to the beginning of the video, right? That was in our original question. So I just plug in that, and that, and I find out to maximize it's at the point 20, 0.